voluntary OTAs. Marvin Harrison Jr. signs his contract. A veteran retires, and there are good guys doing good guy things out there for the Cardinals. Stay tuned.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh.
Murray keeps it downfield. It is caught. It is caught. DeAndre Hopkins. Miraculous. It's Murray magic.
The sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Welcome to the sickest Arizona Cardinals podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Singh, and with me, as always, my co-host, Charlotte Shaff. Charlotte, how has your week been? I know you had a big milestone at your house.
I did. It's been a very exciting week. My oldest son, Jake, just promoted out of 8th grade, and he's going to be a high schooler in the fall. And I can't believe that I have a high schooler. So I'm very excited about that. And it was the last week of school for my kiddos. So this has been the longest week on earth, and I'm very excited for it to be Friday.
A new phase, a new chapter. You'll love it.
I'm excited. I'm very proud of him. So I can't wait to see how well he does in high school. He's been an amazing kid. So very excited.
I love that. I got bangs.
I love the bangs. I wish I could pull up bangs, but I've got natural curly hair and it doesn't work.
Well, so do I. So they only work when I go get a blowout. Shout out Dry Bar, Camelback, and 32nd Street.
That's where I go. I love that place.
Yeah, pretty great. I didn't realize how split my gray was though. I mean, the rest of it's all blendy, but right in the bangs, I've got a little X-Men Storm action going on.
It's all right. It's cute. I like it. Add some character.
Graduation, bangs. You know what else happened this week?
What?
The first day of voluntary OTAs for the Cardinals. You know, we've been hearing about some big names not showing up for other teams' OTAs with contracts still out, blah, 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 etc., or just being a veteran and not really needing to be part of those team building exercises. But the Cardinals, Charlotte, have had a full roster. And I'm not just talking about the active 55. I'm talking, counted them out, a total of 98 players showed up for the first day of OTAs. And I think it has been like that every day since for the rest of the week.
That speaks volumes. Dang.
Right? I mean, it totally makes a statement, and it also makes me very nervous to cut down to 55 when you have another double that in quality human beings. But it's more than being a quality human being. You got to be a good football player. But as a PR professional, let's just say, because you are, what kind of statement is the team making? And I don't mean the team like the coaches and the front office and the team as in the players. What kind of statement are they making by a full roster showing up for voluntary activities?
I think this is such an amazing step forward for the Cardinals because their PR in general has been a little challenging, especially with the reputation back in the day of Kyler and the video games and all that kind of stuff. And the fact that we've got all our guys coming, the rookies, everybody, nobody is acting like a prima donna. This means a lot for the Arizona Cardinals in general. And I hope that it starts to stifle some of the commentary of people who love to be naysayers about the Cardinals. To see that everybody is in, the coaching staff is excited, the players are excited. This is all good PR for the Cardinals, and I am all for it.
We were talking prior to recording about how easy it was to fall in to some of that negative Kyler narrative. And I think That's natural as a fan, as awful as it is. But in order to be a good human, it's also important to check ourselves. And I'm willing to admit that I had fallen into that narrative, but to see him making these visual, tangible changes and supporting the team and being out there and cheering on his teammates on and
Mhm.
off the field, it's really making a difference for the team as a whole, I think, too.
Absolutely. And I love to see that he's out with his teammates watching, basketball games and um it's just a much more positive and less negative environment, and that's what we need.
Agreed, 100%. Keep it up, team. Good
Hmm.
work. We had some other kind of I don't know. It's sad news because it's always sad when a player that you know and love decides to retire. But we did get news that former Cardinals running back David Johnson, he announced his retirement from the NFL. You've been a long time season
Oh,
ticket holder. I know that you have to have some memories that stand out from those years when David Johnson played with the Cardinals. Am I correct in that?
oh, you are very correct. I was obsessed with David Johnson. I just loved his personality. I obviously loved how amazing he was on the field, but I also started following him on social media. So I was following when he proposed to his college sweetheart and when they got married and they have the cutest gosh dang kids. But I mean, I really felt like we were about to see another Super Bowl contending Cardinals team when he was our running back. And I was devastated when he got injured.
Mhm.
And then, the whole like Houston Texans trade. And then that did bring in DeAndre Hopkins. And I am still a big DeAndre fan. And I would love for him to come back to the Cardinals. But I was devastated when he went to the Texans. And then I really felt sad that things didn't work out as well as we thought that they would for him. I thought he was going to be in this for a really long haul, and unfortunately, stuff happens in football, and it seems as though he's got a really good head on his shoulders and a good support system, and he has a beautiful family. So I wish him all the luck. And one of my favorite memories of him is he held one of those training camps for kids, and
Mhm.
my son Eric was a part of that. And I think that that's something that helped kind of like launch my son into really being interested in playing football and meeting him and meeting some of the other players. I've got some photos that I'll share of my son Eric with him and DJ Foster. And he had that t-shirt that they autographed for, I want to say like at least 4 years. And it is the dingiest white t-shirt, but man, we love that shirt because everybody autographed it. And it was just such a great, great event and memory.
I love that. And t-shirts, I am a huge t-shirt hoarder
Hmm.
and keep even my kids' t-shirts from different events in a box under their bed, thinking someday I'm gonna make a quilt out of them or something.
We always say that, but who really does it?
I know. Do you know the only thing I've done with commemorative t-shirts along those lines is I still sleep with a blankie. Confession time. I sleep with a
Oh.
blankie. It is in shreds, obviously,
Hmm.
but I took some squares to try and like make it more square. So I'm close, but nowhere near making a full quilt. It's literally it's just like a square.
It's all good intentions, but Lord knows it's going to be decades of boxes of stuff saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. But how many of us actually do it?
Maybe I need an accountability buddy.
There you go.
Well, speaking of good things, that doesn't make any kind of segue, but good thing I was never in television.
Weaving, as we weave all these wonderful stories together
There we go.
and
PR
memories.
professional. As we weave all of these wonderful, uplifting stories together, let's close with some really good stories coming out of our very own Arizona Cardinals. First
Hmm.
of all, the rookies, they got together and they visited Phoenix Children's Hospital. Definitely brightened the day. I've got some quotes pulled up here. Defensive lineman Darius Robinson said, "You never know what people have going on. So I'm making sure I'm coming in with positive energy and really just enjoying my time with the kids." I love that. He was our second first round pick, Darius Robinson. I know that we
I'm a
discussed this on
fan.
the pig show. You're a big fan.
I'm a big fan already. I love him. He's a
Yeah,
Michigan boy.
Michigan boy. And as our friend Joanna, Cards fan on
Love
Twitter, likes
Joanna.
to say, good guys doing good guy things. He's
I
just,
love it.
I love that too. It always makes me smile when she posts stuff like that. I got the jump on her on this next story, though.
Mm.
Trey McBride connects with a boy being raised by his same-sex parents and now is his big brother, quote unquote. Did you see this clip?
I watched it right before we were going to do this podcast taping, and I started crying. And I thought, okay, I got to step away because it was so beautiful. I mean, Trey McBride grew up with two moms,
Hmm.
and so he gets it and he knows the struggle sometimes for kids.
Yeah.
And the fact that a Bills fan is so excited about getting autographed jersey from Trey McBride. He said he was going to switch his number to him. He was going to start playing him on Madden. I mean, just so touching and so beautiful.
I agree. I loved it too, where it's like they're literally like FaceTiming each other. And Trey is saying, "You can call me
Mhm.
anytime. I'll pick up when I can. I'm here for you." And he really meant, you can tell he really meant it. And the boy really took it to heart. And I was just like melting.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm tearing up right now just thinking about it.
It was
It's
so
it's
great.
powerful. It was powerful. Very
It
powerful.
is. It's really powerful. And when you have players that take the time, I mean, Darius Robinson wasn't the only one. It was that went to PCH. It was basically the whole rookie class that we picked up. Max Melton, Marvin Harrison Jr. was there. There was a couple other guys there. There's four to six rookies showed up to meet patients. And then you have players like Trey McBride. This is his second year with the Cardinals. He's still making an impact across the country with, children who need role models, and it's inspiring.
It is. And as we said at the beginning of the show, this is all good PR. It's all good exposure for the Cardinals. We need to change the narrative. And I feel like we've been starting it from the top to the bottom. And we want to see these good stories out there. This is part of the reason why people become fans. You have to have a human connection. And it's not just about them on the field, but what they're doing off the field too.
You know it. Speaking of off the field, hey, I got that segue.
Ooh.
Speaking of off the field, what is going on locally that our local Arizona listeners should know about? You're always in the know.
So there are quite a few great things to do. And because the weather is not crazy hot, I definitely encourage everybody to get out and enjoy this amazing Phoenix weather, go to the lake, that kind of fun stuff. There's Diamondbacks games. There's the Phoenix like Comic Con. I guess it's called the Phoenix Fan Fusion Comic Con. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check that out. What else, Kelly?
I happen to just read about, because I love a good margarita, Scottsdale Margarita Fest.
Ooh,
Tastings included. $25 tomorrow, beginning at Wasted Grain at 2 p.m.
I
So
love it.
head out to Old Town and get yourself a margarita.
There you go. Cheers to the weekend.
Cheers to the weekend. I cannot believe I forgot to bring this up during my recording while Charlotte was still here. Holy smokes. I was getting ready to hand over the edits. We didn't even touch on Marvin Harrison Jr. signing his contract. I know that that doesn't seem like a huge surprise and it shouldn't be, but what I love is it is now secure. And also because my full-time job deals a lot with retail and group licensing marketing, I am so pleased to take a sigh of relief that now the NFLPA group marketing and licensing is safe and intact. And I'm also pleased that players like Marvin Harrison Jr. are able to command the money that they deserve for being out there and allowing their likeness and their names being used. I don't like the idea of this predatory behavior um, that could happen to a player as they're coming out of college, signing prior to knowing how big they're going to be out there in the league. But despite all of that, I am just proud to announce we officially have a Maserati. Well, it has been another great week. I love when we're able to just give you some bite-sized information during this off season. If anyone has anything to say about our show today, you can definitely leave a comment. I have been seeing some of them come in, so thank you so
Yay!
much.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, you can find me at Kelly in Phoenix and Charlotte at Shar Shaff on the app formerly known as Twitter. You can also help us build up the little Twitter handle Sick Pod Kelly if you're interested in helping to amplify.
There you go. And so thanks for listening, everybody. Please subscribe, like, share, anything you can do to support us. We really do appreciate it. So we hope you'll check us out on YouTube or subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast app.
Thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast with Kelly Singh on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.